Let me tell you a secret. This Jollof Rice recipe just got the ultimate compliment, a stamp of approval from my Ghanaian friends. I'm self-taught, and after years of experimenting, I finally nailed it. Ready to learn all the tips, tricks, and a few cultural secrets? You're invited to my kitchen. As an expat living in Ghana, I had to adapt to my local environment, and that included the food. The food market here is very different from back home in the US. Being able to buy fresh fruits, vegetables, and meats from the local farmers is an amazing advantage to the expats. Very affordable, and I like that. Back when I first tried jollof rice at a local spot here in Ghana, I thought, this is good, but it's missing something. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. So I went on a mission to figure it out myself. Let me tell you, it was a journey of burnt pots, soggy rice, and enough pepper splatters to redecorate my kitchen. But after years of tweaking, experimenting, and getting a few tips from Ghanaian friends, I finally nailed it. And today, I'm sharing everything I've learned with you. Hey friends, Chef Amma here. I have a confession. I've spent years perfecting my jollof rice, a dish so special, it's basically the heart and soul of West African cuisine. And guess what? I'm self-taught, but this recipe just got a big thumbs up from my Ghanaian taste testers, which means, yes, it's the real deal. Today, I'm spilling all my secrets, from roasting those peppers until they're smoky good, to adding the perfect kick of spice that'll light up your taste buds. Ready? Let's dive into this steaming pot of cultural fusion and unforgettable flavor. First up, the veggies that bring our jollof to life. I'm talking fresh tomatoes, red and green bell peppers, habanero peppers, and garlic. Drizzle them with salt, pepper, rosemary, and a splash of oil. Roast these babies at high heat for about 40 minutes or until they've got that nice char. Trust me, this smoky sweetness is a total game changer. Bell peppers aren't just here for their sweetness and color. They're also loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants. Think of them as a little immune system booster in every bite. Plus, the red ones bring a subtle sweetness that balances the heat from the habaneros perfectly. Once the veggies are charred to perfection, blend them until nice and smooth. This is the first step to achieving that smoky flavor that I love so much in my jollof. This is the consistency you want from your blended veggies. See? So lovely, huh?
I know I can be unkind, but you're not always understanding. I like to take my time, but time is what you're always chasing. I know I like to hide, but you're not always keen on seeking. You said you're up for the fight, but I would rather keep on pretending. I feel the divide between you and I, like the distance between the dark and light. But just as the dawn is both day and night, maybe I can make you mine, 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 make you mine.
While our peppers do their thing in the oven, getting all nice and charred, let's talk protein. I'm using fish, seasoned simply with Old Bay. That's it. It's my favorite go-to for seafood because it highlights the fish without overpowering it. Pop it in the fridge to hang out for a minute while we move on to the stock. Next, I'm whipping up a quick chicken stock for added depth. Chicken, I have some legs here, onions, garlic, ginger, bay leaves, and a sprinkling of seasoning. Cook the chicken on low to let its juices flow before adding water. It's like building a flavor bomb from scratch. And with garlic and ginger in the mix, you're getting a dose of natural immune boosters. After the chicken has softened to my liking, which means it's cooked fully, remove the chicken from the stock and set each aside. The stock will flavor our rice, and the chicken will be fried and served alongside our delectable dish. The house smells amazing at this point, and we are not done yet. Now let's fry our marinated protein. I have here both chicken and fish. Fry until crispy golden because we'll need that oil for the Jollof stew. And let's be real, those crackling sounds are pure kitchen music. My love for fried fish came from my grandparents. Every weekend, they would go fishing together as a couple, come home, clean the fish, and the next Friday night, it was a family fish fry. The adults did their thing in one room, blasting R&B and drinking that good juice. And the kids were in the other room, sneaking and peeking on the adults. That was back in the day when kids were not allowed to listen in on grown folk conversation. It was good times for sure. Anyhow, when they passed away, we had a deep freezer full of fish that we had to give away. I miss them. But this house is smelling like a good old Friday night at Grandma's. All right, it's time for the star of the show, our tomato stew. This is where magic happens. And honestly, this is my absolute favorite and most dangerous part. Let's start with the Jollof base. In a non-stick pot, pour in some of that fish grease from earlier. It's already hot at this point, so add your onions, garlic, ginger paste, and your spices. Let everything sizzle until the onions soften just a little. Don't skimp on the ginger. It brings a fresh zing that balances all the rich flavors we'll be adding. The aroma will have you mesmerized but stay focused. Now the onions are translucent. Add your tomato paste and fry it for about 8 to 10 minutes. Here's a tip that will make your jollof stand out. Fry your tomato paste until the oil separates. This step intensifies the flavor and gets rid of the raw tomato taste. If you skip this, your jollof might taste like, well, tomato sauce on rice, and nobody wants that. Trust me, take your time here. Great jollof is all about patience. Then go in with your blended roasted peppers and tomatoes. Season with whatever secret goodies you've got. Maybe some chicken bouillon, a pinch of barbecue rub, or a dash of jollof seasoning if you're fancy. Go light at this point. Remember, we are adding the chicken stock too, which has tons of flavor. So trust the process and go light, but definitely season well. The key is letting it fry for 40 to 45 minutes on medium-low, stirring occasionally. All right, let's talk about the splatter. Yes, it'll splatter. It's loud, it's messy, and it's basically the kitchen's way of reminding you that jollof rice is worth the chaos. But hey, if you're not hearing a mini drum line in your pot, you're not doing it right. I mean, if you're not dodging hot oil like an Olympic athlete, are you even making authentic jollof? Just remember, once the splatter stops, you're in the final stretch. Once the stew turns that deep red color and the oil floats on top, you'll know it's ready, and your kitchen will smell like $1,000,000. Time to bring it all together. Add your washed basmati rice straight into that glorious stew. Ladle in just enough chicken stock to cover the rice slightly.
Under all of the thousand winds, it's perfect against your do. And the suitors around you will circle your home, begging and asking for more. The swindler will trick you into loving him, the rich one. We should have found by you a ring. The wise guy will teach you the ways of true love. The thief will sneak through the floor. Will you still remember the name of this guy? I need you. I feel the rise by agency.
Now here's where West African wisdom meets practical magic. Cover your pot with baking paper. This steams the rice gently so it soaks up the stew instead of drowning in liquid. Basmati rice is perfect if you're new to jollof making. Less guesswork, more foolproof fluff. Keep the heat low, stir every 10 to 15 minutes, and let it do its thing until the rice is almost tender. Throw in chopped carrots and cabbage for a pop of color and crunch. Cover again, keep steaming, and before you know it, voila, jollof mastery. One of the best things about jollof is how adaptable it is. In my experience living in Ghana, Ghanaians' jollof rice is more on the dry, more tomato-based side, where Nigerians is more wet and use more red bell peppers for an extra burst of flavor. After experimenting both, I tend to lean into my Nigerian roots with a saucier base, but you can make it your own. Use basmati rice for a fluffier texture, or try jasmine rice if that's your style. And don't be afraid to throw in your favorite veggies. The secret ingredient? It's love. Plain and simple. And here it is, my self-taught, Ghana-approved jollof rice. Oh, I tell you, it was my most prized dish to honor my ancestors. I've pulled influences from Ghana, Nigeria, and my own American roots, and somehow it all melds into one cozy dish. I started making jollof because I wasn't satisfied with what I found out here in restaurants, yet it's such a classic staple in my roots. I couldn't just let it go. I had to find a way to enjoy it. After so many tries, I discovered the perfect ratio of smoky roasted veggies, ginger and curry kick, and slow-fried tomato stew. The result? A pot of sunshine that tastes like home, no matter where you're from. Jollof rice isn't just food, it's community on a plate. Whether it's at a family gathering, a wedding, or a simple dinner with friends, this dish always brings people together. Every bite carries the spirit of celebration and belonging. In Ghana, it is tradition to eat this dish every Sunday, or at least once a week as a family. Many West Africans invite other family and friends to enjoy. So, when you make jollof, you're not just cooking, you're connecting with something much bigger. You've seen my take on jollof. I want to hear from you. How do you make your jollof rice? Do you go heavy on the tomatoes or do you have your own secret spice blend? Drop your tips in the comments. I'd love to try them out. Thank you for joining me on this jollof root journey. If you're looking for a dish that's bursting with flavor, loaded with healthy ingredients and carries a proud West African heritage, this is it. Let me know in the comments if you try it or if you've got your own jollof secrets. Like, subscribe, and share the love with fellow foodies. Until next time, I'm Chef Ama, reminding you that great food is all about heart, soul, and a little bit of spice. Take care and happy cooking.
Sometimes it's hard to focus, just to persevere and just to make it. But everything that's within your grasp, you gotta take it, you gotta go harder. Just dig deeper inside you to find that method, that mode that wants that hunger to survive. Just to ride the grind, to take it the way you gotta take it and never stop.